Yeah, Dave, I hear you loud and clear, my man. So we've been actually talking about how do we do how do we do high impact projects that come online. It seems like spur of the moment, and the problem is if we put our foot in the sand and we say, okay, this is the altcoin discussion thread. What happens is we kind of dilute the daily, and I've always said it kind of takes a crowd to keep a crowd. And so we've actually been discussing as a moderator team, how can we make a emergency break situation to where when like sushi or yams or uni or whatever is like the flavor of the month, how do we go ahead and just quickly navigate or mitigate that by producing a secondary thread to where we can just put a different discussion out there for those people to gravitate to. And I kind of feel like some of this stuff it's gone in a week in a way, So how do we get to where it becomes kind of a full-time thing? And I don't think that's going to happen. So the easiest thing is probably going to be, like I said, like an emergency break thing where we temporarily produce a mega thread that we can pop out there, because we obviously don't want to drive away people here that are, totally Ethereum discussing TA or whatever. That said, the ecosystem is far and wide. It's like a chameleon, it's always changing colors. It's always growing. And so the growing pains, with our limited tools that we have on Reddit in real time, is to, how do we react to that? And so the moderators have been having a pretty good discussion over the last couple of days, actually, about what do we do, because we know there's people complaining about it. But then, in my view, it's like, okay, a 1,500 comment day in the daily, for me, it's kind of hard to navigate, but it's not impossible. And we saw back on ETH Trader, whenever we did an altcoin discussion thread, it was dead. And then altcoins always made their way back into the daily, because that's where the action was. People want to be where the party is. And, it's like things are blooming up in real time, just at an incredible pace. It's impossible to keep up and react to that. Because I think people are just trying to search for information. I mean, number one, the uni thing was unknown to a lot of people. And so on one hand, they want to come to the daily to try to find information about it. And so in this particular circumstance, or with yams, it would be nice just to pop a mega thread. And then what we would do is we would actually take the monthly thread, the monthly developer thread, and then park that inside of a mega thread about uni, and then pin it second to the top in the Ethfinance sub. So, that, and then, when do we throttle back? When do we just let it go back into the daily because like the newness has died down or whatever? So these are just some ideas we're tossing around. We're with you 100%. What we don't want to do is shuffle up what people are used to too much, because then they're kind of like, I can't figure out what's going on, right? What we can say is that we have a pretty good detection kit as far as click farms are going. I won't go into it a whole lot, but we have not seen anything but a whole lot of organic chatter about it. I mean, it's a pretty incredible thing that's happened, and we're seeing a lot of just regular commenters coming in and talking about it. So we know there's not a lot of manipulation, at least at this point, about the message, because Uniswap's pretty popular. So anyway, I don't know if that helps you at all. Just know that we're conscious of it and we are listening. And cheers. Big hugs from Kansas City. I gotta flip these.